Hi guys, how we doing? So we're into our fourth day and I hope everyone is getting on all right. The interaction on the Facebook group is absolutely amazing, so keep that up. It is absolutely brilliant to see. But one thing I want to do today is make you aware of something. Now, if you don't know me or if you've never been coached by me before, you will soon come to realise that it's far more than just giving you exercise and nutritional programs and then that's it. My high ticket paying clients, we work a lot on behaviours, we work a lot on habits and actually instilling them and creating habitual change. And what I've been noticing recently with a lot of clients and a lot of other people as well who aren't my clients is a problem that is unfortunately becoming all too common, and that is self-justification of habits and of behaviours or past habits and past behaviours which aren't conducive in getting them to where they want to get to. So for example, it might be that, okay, I've worked hard for 5 days and I've done really well with my food. I've exercised 4 out of those 5 days. I deserve a few pints down at the local pub. Or it might be, first week into it, I've dropped 4 pounds over the first 6 days. I can have a takeaway with the family and things like that. Now, on the grand scheme of things, okay, having one takeaway a week, having a couple of pints a week and being consistent with that over a long period of time will be conducive of getting results. But unfortunately, the problem is with a lot of people these days is they can't just stop there. And this is the issue, this self-justification of, right, I've worked hard doing this and I've come out my comfort zone and I've been disciplined and I've been really, sometimes I've not wanted to train and I've trained. And then, okay, because I'm like that, then I can justify going back to my old habits and my old behaviours. It causes them to then totally go back to where they were, which is the whole reason why they got onto a health and fitness program to start off with. So if you're one of those people that can have a couple of pints or can have one takeaway a week and stop there, then this probably isn't applicable to you. But with a lot of people, they can't just stop there. And this is what I want to try and get across to you guys today is whatever you do and whatever great strides you make in the first week, don't drop a bollock by letting old behaviours and old habits start to sneak back in. Just because you give yourself a pat on the back and say, oh, I've done it, well done, week 1, brilliant, great work, because that will be your downfall. I guarantee you it. Okay, if you start to say, oh, I've done so well in this first week, maybe it's a chance now just to relax it just for a day or so, relax my eating. I guarantee you guys, even though you've done extremely well in seeing those results, if you start to drop the ball, or start to drop the bollock as I call it, and start to let those old behaviours and old habits slip back in, then it will be your downfall. I guarantee you it. You need to stay focused. You need to keep your eyes on the prize. You need to keep working towards the goal that you agreed with yourself at the start of this 6-week plan, and you need to stay on it. So that's consistency, that's discipline, and that's everything. Because all too often now, what I'm noticing with a lot of people is they're justifying to themselves without even coming to me about it first as their coach. They're justifying to themselves that they can go off and do stuff and it be absolutely fine. And this is, again, like misinterpretation sometimes of me saying, right, you can have a flexible diet. Well, yeah, you can have a flexible diet if you can handle a flexible diet. But what I notice with a lot of people is you give them a flexible way of eating, which I think is very important, but then they take it to extremes. And the only person, okay, with this, and if you are going to self-justify to yourself bringing in alcohol or having an off day is, The only person that's going to keep that under control is going to be you. Okay, don't wait for anybody else to pull the reins in on it. It's only going to be you. And before you know it, if you don't take control of it, it's going to get out of control pretty quickly. So in summary, what I'm basically trying to say to you is, stop self-justifying to yourself, or if it's going to come up to the future where you've had a good couple of weeks, don't self-justify to yourself and give yourself a pat on the back and say, right, I deserve a day of flexible eating, or I deserve 5 pints or whatever, because your work's not done. This is the long term. Your work is not done. And I always say it to people as well, do not be satisfied with satisfactory. And if you can honestly say to yourself that you've done your work after a couple of weeks, then okay, but to be able to say you've done your work in a couple of weeks, that's not what this is all about. This is all about finding something for you that is sustainable long term, and that involves working on these behaviors and habits. So if you are going to self-justify to yourself, if you are going to start bringing in more flexible way of eating, you need that control to be able to stop and say no. Because otherwise, you're always going to be finding yourself going back to square one and starting something like this again. So what you need to do, and this is what I've put on how to fix it, write yourself down a list of all the things you struggle with. So that might be, I struggle with dealing with food cravings late at night. I have cravings for alcohol at least 2 or 3 times a week. I struggle to want to exercise 4 or 5 times a week. Anything it is, write it down on a piece of paper, okay? And then write down the things you are good at. So that might be, I'm really good at being really time efficient with my sessions and working at a high intensity and getting them in, getting them done. I'm really good at planning and preparing my week and my meals. Write that down, because once it's down on a piece of paper, guys, you can see it. You can see all the pros that you can keep building on and keep making even more of a strength, and you can see all the negatives that you know aren't your strong point and know that you need to keep working at and paying more attention to. And I guarantee the fact when you write them down and you see them written down on a piece of paper and you're more aware of them, I guarantee next time you're in a situation where you get to a weekend and you're like, Jesus, I've worked really hard in these 5 days. Well done, Paul. Brilliant. Right, now's the time. I'm just going to walk 100 yards up the road to the pub. I'm going to have 5 pints, and then I'm going to I'll address this healthy eating lark on the Monday. I guarantee you won't do that, because when you're more conscious of something, you're more likely to stop yourself from doing something. So get it down on a piece of paper, all your negatives, all your positives, write them down, and just be conscious of them, okay? And it's not me being critical of people, it's me trying to do my job as a coach, and I've noticed, especially since lockdown's been around from March, I've noticed people self-justifying to themselves doing this sort of behaviour. Oh, well, this thing that's happened, it's not my fault, it's out of my control. But they use it as an excuse, they use it as a reason to go back to their old habits and behaviours. And to me, that is just weak. That is just really weak. That's not having a strong mindset. That's not saying, right, it's even more of a reason to get hold of my health and fitness, get out of my comfort zone and really take myself to the next level. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense today, guys. Let us know what you think below in the comment section. But my job is to make people aware of things that I see on a daily basis. This is definitely one of those things. Stop the self-justification, and if you do self-justify to yourself, make sure you got the control to stop yourself, and also get down all your pros and all your negatives down on the sheet so you're more conscious and you're more aware of them. Okay, guys, have a great Thursday. I'll speak to you soon.